Welcome back. The story of a steak. You know, it takes a lot to get quality beef to the consumer. During the last 2 weeks, we've brought you the story of the V Ranch, a commercial cow-calf operation in Thermopolis, Wyoming, and their commitment to herd health and preconditioning. This week, in this informational segment, brought to you by our friends at Merck Animal Health and High Plains Journal, the story continues at Knight Feed Yard in Lyons, Kansas, where the V Ranch calves were weaned and shipped straight off the cow.
825 miles and more than 12 hours on the trucks have brought nearly 700 head of V Ranch calves to Knight Feed Yard in Lyons, Kansas. The calves have just been weaned, and it'll take a few days for them to adjust to their new homes. Fortunate for them, the Wilson family prepared their calves for this big day by vaccinating at branding and again 2 to 3 weeks before weaning. Now the V Ranch calves are in the hands of Kenny Knight, a cattle feeder with a wealth of experience in developing and feeding freshly weaned, lighter weight cattle.
We're not a very big yard, 12 to 14,000 head in the yard, so we get pretty well acquainted with the cattle by the time we start with calves and take them all the way through.
What Knight appreciates most about calves that have been preconditioned and come from ranches that document their herd health practices is how these practices improve quality for consumers. In fact, the Knight knows just about everything he needs to know about them, from their breeding and management to the types of vaccines they've received and the dates when they got them.
Our goal has always been to get as close to the end user as possible with a product that's either branded or certainly where they know where their meat is coming from. And if we've got a paper trail all the way through, not only on the source and the age, but on the vaccinations, I think that's important to the consumer. And if it's important to the consumer, it's important to us.
Knight's gate-to-plate approach to feeding cattle ensures incoming cattle get treated with all the care they need. On arrival, they're placed in a growing yard where they have fresh water and quality feed. The yard is set up so that once the calves stop bawling and are completely weaned, they can often leave the pens to graze winter wheat. All of this helps with the adjustment needed to ensure health and quality end products. No amount of work on Knight's end, however, does much good unless the calves have built-in immunity provided by the rancher who preconditioned them back at the ranch.
We think when that calf gets here and he's been preconditioned with the proper vaccinations and wormed and all that stuff done, that calf has a head start on a calf that doesn't have that. Our death loss is much smaller. We get sale barn cattle as well as cattle straight off the ranch, and there's certainly a difference in the death loss between the two. We know the cattle coming off the ranch are fresh. We know they're healthy. There's added value to a calf that's had its preconditioning shots. Coming from someone we know, we've been dealing with for years. If they give them a vaccination, we know that they know how to do it right, and that makes a big difference. We don't always buy cattle that make money, but if we can get the performance and the cattle do everything they're supposed to do, we've got a lot better chance.
Next week, we'll continue to share the story of the importance of herd health and preconditioning calves to the success of all sectors involved in the story of the steak. For the Angus Report, I'm Doug Medlock.
This segment of the Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health and High Plains Journal. To watch this segment again or to read more about the V Ranch and its herd health practices, visit storyofasteak.com. Thanks for watching.
At Merck Animal Health, we are dedicated to improving the health and well-being of animals through innovative science-based solutions, products, treatments, and services to ensure a dependable, affordable food supply. From cattleman to consumer, from farm to family, we're with you every step of the way. We work where you work. What drives you drives us. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.